Sandra with another episode of Asexualized, my sexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you don't know how I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy, founder of asexualise.com, founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality, and I'm also the author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about stress, which is so important. We get this covered because a lot of asexuals do have mental health issues, as you know, but you don't have to be asexual to have mental health issues. So mental health issues are not just related to asexuals. You know, any one of us can have. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, I appreciate that. I forgot to say give this video a thumbs up as you go along. That's really nice of you, thank you. You know, mental health issues are not just for, you know, related to asexuals. They can happen to absolutely anyone. And I think it's important that I do cover mental health issues on this channel. But mental health can have a bit of a stigma like, oh, you've got a mental health issue. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's really important to note that there are long-term mental health issues and they have varying degrees of severity. And you can get like short-term mental health issues. You can get issues which are in the mind and then manifested in the body, or they can be in the body and then spew out into all different aspects of your life. So mental health is you know, mental health, I like to call it mental wealth, really. And I'm like, you know, where are you on a scale of 0 to 10 of your mental wealth? You know, how wealthy are you? How rich do you feel? How vibrant and energetic and, you know, really healthy do you feel at the moment with your mental wealth as it is, you know? And I think that's the most important type of wealth to have is the mental wealth, you know, have a really, you know, good quality, healthy mentality. But that isn't always easy, and that isn't always going to come easy. That isn't always going to be easy. And sometimes things happen in our life that we wish we hadn't had happen and it's unforeseen. So as you know, last night, if you watched my very short video, I was not feeling well. I will just give you a little bit more information about my symptoms. So my symptoms were feeling really dizzy, my head's not quite with my body, I felt like the blood was draining out of my hands were going a bit white. This morning I woke up with chest pains. I was feeling, you know, feeling dizzy a lot, you know. And it wasn't good. In the middle of the night, I kind of had this dream hallucination, which I was looking up, which is like a lucid dream, and it was really weird. And so it was not a hallucination outside of sleep, but it was inside sleep. But I didn't know if I was sleeping or not. And I was looking it up on the internet, and that's known as a lucid dream. So basically, I mean, it wasn't a really bad this time, but the night before I had a really bad dream as well, you know, which was you know, it was really horrible. So I'm prone since a kid to nightmares, so that's not good as it is. But last night when I had this like lucid dream, I had the big light on all the time. I had all the lights on and I fell asleep, and then I fell asleep with my legs elevated because my mum said if you've got low blood pressure, she found out from reading a book, it's better to elevate your legs and have your head further down. So that's what I did, and it did actually work well, because when I got up to go to the toilet, I wasn't feeling dizzy like I was before. But after I'd gone to the toilet in the middle of the night and I went what I thought was back to sleep, then all of a sudden I'm like talking to my mum on the phone, and I'm like, am I really talking to my mum on the phone in the middle of the night, or am I just dreaming? And it was really weird. And then I woke up, but it was quite scary because I've been talking to my mum before I went to bed saying I feel that ill that you know, if I need to call an ambulance, if I start passing out or anything, then I will call an ambulance, and, you know, I might have to call you in the middle of the night. So I think as I went to sleep, I was, you know, my subconscious mind was focusing on that. and preparing myself for the worst in case it should happen, you know. I even had the point where the door I unlocked to the front door, because I spoke to my mum. She goes, well, unlock your front door to your flat, and obviously the house again, so that if you do pass out, you can, you know, and you manage to wake up and phone an ambulance, they can get in, you know. So that's kind of the hard thing as well when you're asexual and you are single and you're on your own. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you're really sick, there's no one else there. If you pass out on the floor or end up unconscious, you have to hope and pray that you just wake up, because otherwise you could actually, you know, be no longer here and no one would even know. They'd eventually, I guess, maybe notice I'm not around anymore. But I mean, obviously my parents would know because I'd phoned them up the night before, and they would eventually realise that something was up. But, you know, it's kind of scary, I think, being asexual and being single on your own. I don't think being single is scary at all. I enjoy being single. I like being single. I like living on my own. But I think being, you know, not having a partner at all and not having someone around, that's the only, you know, I miss the kissing and stuff. I do miss the kissing. But you know, not having anyone around. I mean, luckily, unfortunately, I live in the middle of a big house. So, you know, it does help that I've got people around me, but I don't, you know, we've got very much separate lives. And so anyway, when I went to the doctor, it's really important you know what she said, so because it could help you. So basically, I had various tests today. I had my blood pressure taken several times, like 3 or 4 times. I had my oxygen levels taken. I had urine sample done. I had an examination below done. I had my tummy examined. So yeah, I had pretty much my throat examined. So I had and my heartbeat was tested with the blood pressure monitor. So pretty much everything was tested, and all the tests came back that I was fine in all those physical test ways. But I got diagnosed with stress, an official diagnosis of stress. And she said it's due to grieving with the trauma I've had with Chestnut. She said any person would feel the same in your position and experience the pain of that trauma. She said what it is because I'm not crying anymore really much about it. Then I'm still grieving, but the crying's not coming out. Therefore, all that pain that I should be getting out through crying is actually manifesting itself in my body and causing me all these symptoms and pain and, you know, well, dizziness and all it, you know, it's basically manifesting itself in my body. And so she said that I need to cry and I need to give myself time and I need to grieve for a lot longer, basically. That I am still grieving, even though I'm not physically crying, because I thought I was fine now. She said it's really important not to overlook this, not to overlook stress, not to overlook, you know, when you're going through grief, and not to overlook the symptoms of stress. And because as a result of grief and trauma, you know, because I explained that I had to give my guinea pigs over to my parents to look after back in April. And I had to make that decision overnight within 24 hours because of Angel being diabetic. Otherwise, I got told she'd have to be put to sleep, which my parents are very capable of looking after them. They're excellent. Well, with just the one now, they're excellent. You know, I haven't got any qualms with that whatsoever. But obviously, when I was with Chestnut for 4 years of my life, and then all of a sudden I had to make a decision to give her over to my parents with Angel, because she went with Angel, that was really devastating, because that was like a really like quick decision I had to make. And then obviously the way she bled to death. I mean, I said to the doctor, if it was a human being that bled to death for 2.5 to 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or, you know, at least 2.5 hours, you know, it just imagine that. It doesn't bear thinking about. And, you know, and I did cry in the doctors, and, you know, she said that I need to let it out. She said I need to cry, you know, because otherwise all this pain and this upset and this trauma and this stress is just manifesting itself in all these different ways in my body. And she said I need to take care of myself and I need to cry more and let it out. And it was so refreshing to hear from a doctor. So refreshing. As it happens, she's Indian. Well, she certainly looks Indian. You know, whether or not she was born in the UK, but Yeah, she was such a lovely doctor. You know, she looked at me from a completely holistic point of view, and I loved that about her. You know, very caring person. You know, I said I lost, you know, was made redundant last year. Made redundant if you don't live in the UK means you've been laid off. So in America they call it laid off, not redundant. So basically I wasn't, there was nothing wrong with my performance. I was doing well. I was there in my job for 5 years, but sadly because the whole expenses of the my department that was on, the rent they paid the host store, the designer fees, my wage, all that type of thing, they were just spending too much money and losing money, or so they said. So they made me redundant, gave me redundancy pay, and that was last year. I was made redundant from there. And you know, it means I'm trying to learn new skills to skill up to do other things in my life, which are quite tough when you're learning new skills. So, you know, because I told the doctor I was a bit anxious about, you know, worrying about money and a bit anxious about that because obviously I'm not in an employed job at the moment. So that's been quite stressful as well, which doesn't help. And she said, no, that doesn't help. It adds to the stress that you're under. Yeah, so I just think it's so refreshing to actually hear a doctor speak like this. And her medicine, rather than pill, is to actually cry. And I think this is a great leap forward for medicine in general and for doctors in general. You know, how many times have we been told in the past to just pop a pill and it will end all our problems and our worries, you know? And if you're feeling this way and that way, go and take a pill, you know? But I'm glad doctors are going away from that type of scenario now. I'm glad because, you know, it's not right to just give people pills all the time. It doesn't make you better. It just covers and masks up the problems. So yeah, I've got an official diagnosis of stress and officially told to cry and let the grief out instead of holding it in. And, you know, she said it doesn't matter. I said it's last month. She goes, it doesn't matter when it was. If you're still going through the grieving process, which you are, then, you know, you need to, you know, let it out and cry. So it was really refreshing to hear that. And she said, if you still keep feeling the way you're feeling like after Christmas, we're on the 4th of December today, then I'll have to go back and see her. But she definitely thinks it's stress. All the symptoms point that way. Everything else, all the other tests are clear. So it's really good all the other tests are clear, that my oxygen levels are fine, my blood pressure's fine, blood sugar seems to be fine. You know, everything seems to be fine. Just not, you know, to do with grief and stress. So yeah, I mean, I told her it was traumatic. I mean, you know, if anyone's lost someone close to them, and you know, whether it's a pet or a you know, a human, then if they lose them, it's bad enough. But if they lose them in such a traumatic way that doesn't bear thinking about, that just makes things worse. You know, that's what the problem is. I told her be okay. She wasn't. She was fine before, and you know, and that happened. And I just think it's such a inhumane way, not humane way to die. You know, it's horrible. And so, if I think about it, it just doesn't bear thinking about. So that's why I try and block it out. But obviously, that's not really helping me at the moment because, you know, you've got to get on with your life. But obviously I've been given a diagnosis now to take it, you know, to take care of myself and to grieve and to cry. So yeah, and I just, you know, I wanted to put this video out to you because, you know, I've been saying that, you know, I've been saying some of the time that, you know, I'm getting on with life, which I am. But I think it's important to note that it's okay to still be grieving. It doesn't matter how long it takes. That's what the doctor said. She said it's really important to not overlook these things. And I just thought that was so good, so refreshing. And I just thank the doctor from the bottom of my heart, really. She was amazing. She was amazing. She was absolutely amazing. You know, because at first I couldn't even talk about it, and then I did. So it's really difficult. But, you know, it's been hard. It's been hard, really hard time in my life, to be honest. But, you know, I'll be okay. I know I'll be okay. I'll be absolutely fine. But I think a lot of stress is out at the moment because I had the grief with Chestnut and the trauma, which is obviously still in my body. Then I've got the money problem on top, and then at the moment, in order to make money, I've got like 3 different ideas that I can go with, and I'm like, which one do I go with? Which is kind of great, because it's kind of like some people don't even have any opportunities or ideas. But with me, what I do is I have so many ideas that I confuse myself as to which one to actually go for. And then all the fears set in, the worries and the stress and the anxiety, which just adds to the obviously stress I've already got. So, I didn't go into everything, but, it's like I'm reading book at the moment, 2 books at the moment I'm reading, business books. I've got a third that I've bought that's on its way, and all 3 go together, and I'm learning like new skills that I've been on the recipient end of these skills, but I've never actually seen them before myself, like broken down. And it's kind of like all, although the whole overall concept isn't new to me, the actual ins and outs of it is, and it's just like mind-blowing how much I have to learn. And it's kind of like I kind of feel pressure to learn it in a really short amount of time, because it's like I need to be making some money, because I've been doing, as you know, t-shirts and for asexuals, and I've got my asexual book, and I've got a few other books out, but that doesn't really make me, it makes me pocket money. But even so, I mean, that pocket money isn't even enough to cover all my hosting fees usually for all my websites, and so and my business insurance, like literally nearly all the money for my t-shirts and my book go out on business insurance again every month. So I'm not really making a profit. I'm not really doing, and if it was, it would be pennies and pounds, not like nothing. You can't live off that. So obviously I have to be doing other stuff. I had a full-time job last year, so I was doing all the asexual stuff on top of the full-time job. I do more asexual stuff now than I used to when I was in my full-time job there. I mean, I'm live streaming on here every single day, and I sometimes forget. Sometimes, like I'm live streaming every single day, and obviously that does take energy up, every single day since the 1st of July. I mean, if I can't for some reason, then you're going to know that it's just because I need time out to rest and recuperate and get better. But I kind of like sharing my life with you, because I think that I can help you by sharing it, by sharing what I go through. I think I can help you. And I think one important thing the doctor says as well, because I said, I do have fibro and stuff like that, fibromyalgia. She goes, it doesn't matter whether you've got fibromyalgia or not. The pain you're experiencing now in your body would be experienced by anyone. People without fibromyalgia would experience exactly the same pain as you, because it's a trauma which just causes stress because you're grieving and it's manifesting in your body, and that would be the same with anyone. And I think that's really good, because sometimes doctors and people in society, they blame things on other things, and she said it's got nothing to do with that. It basically is what it is, because it's a traumatic experience. And I do feel traumatized by it, if I'm honest. I really do. I find it very hard, it's very traumatic. I didn't expect it to happen, and the way it happened was just mind-blowing. It's beyond the stratosphere for me, So I've got a lot going on in my life at the moment, and the 3 different options I've got of what to do, it's kind of like I keep getting pulled in all different directions, because it's kind of like I could do something with each different option, but it's like, when I can't do all 3 at once, because it's just going to be too much for me. I just can't do all 3 at once, and I've been trying to do bits of all 3 at once. It's like, you can't, and you have to go with one of them. And then you've got all the, whenever you're trying something new, you've got all the fears that step in, the worries and the anxieties and the pressures, like, am I going to succeed in it? Is it going to be as amazing as I want it to be? Am I ready? Can I do this? And you kind of like, whenever you're going to a new thing, you can kind of really doubt yourself, even if you don't want to. I do 100% believe in myself at the end of the day. It's crazy, because I have all these doubts and fears sometimes. It's kind of crazy, because I know in my heart of hearts that I believe 100% in myself. I believe that my current circumstances do not dictate my future. And that's something I learned from an entrepreneur called Brendan Burchard. He's absolutely amazing. Google Brendan Burchard. He's incredible. Personal and professional development guy. And he does business stuff too. It's just amazing. And he always says your current circumstances do not dictate your future. And that's true. Your past doesn't dictate your future either. And you have to remember this in your life, you know? So just because I'm upset and traumatized now and I've got grief going on now, in actual fact, she is right, the doctor. I need to let it out now, because if I don't, it's just going to carry on manifesting itself, you know? And she said it doesn't help the fact you can't sleep properly and all the rest of it. And, you know, it's just building and building, you know? So it's really important I not acknowledge this. And I wanted to share it with you because it's important you know that, you know, if you are having, you know, if you are stressed, it's fine. It's a valid thing. It's a valid medical condition. And, you know, you need to respond accordingly to it. I think, like she said, you know, she was trying to say that, you know, don't overlook stress. Don't overlook grief and trauma that, you know, that's causing the stress. Don't overlook that. You know, acknowledge it. And I just thought that was so refreshing. I love her holistic look at things, because whenever I do books quite a lot of the time, like I did my Breakthrough the Barriers of Redundancy book to get back into work, an A to Z how-to guide, that is very holistic. And I've been using, like, to apply for jobs, I've been using the cover letters and CV I got myself there, and they do work. They do get me interviews. I've had interviews. To be fair though, even though I'm having interviews for employed jobs, I still want to make my self-employed work more than ever, which is why I'm kind of pressurizing myself a bit to get all these other skills learned. But, you know, the people that are doing the book, you know, they've got years of experience, and I'm reading all this stuff and I'm like, mind blown by all these different parts to it, you know, all these different things. And sadly, you know, my asexualist.com shop that I bought the theme and everything for a shop. It doesn't work. It looked great aesthetically, but behind the scenes it wasn't working. It stopped my website from working. I couldn't even post, like, you know, it was hard to even post a blog post. At the moment I'm trying to get a refund from the people who created the theme, and I don't know if I'm going to get one, but I really hope I do, because they said just, you know, go through this, do this if you want a refund. Because I said it's broke my site. It's got 504 errors. I can't use it. Only when I removed the theme and the plugins did the site start functioning somewhat again, but it's way too slow. That's because it's got all their code on and all their stuff that doesn't work. So I've got to remove the shop. I'm really sorry. But, you know, sometimes you try things in your life and you try as much as you can, but you just can't get it to work. And so, you know, I've got to get rid of it. If it doesn't work, I can't, you know, I spent 3 weeks solid on it, trying to get the speed up, only to get 504 errors. I've been on my web host, I've been on the phone to for over 5 hours about it. I've been backwards and forwards with the theme developers for, like, I don't know how many, like a couple of weeks now, I think it is. And so it's just no good. And so although I'd love to put a shop on there and have a theme, it isn't working. And so I've got to take it off. Although it looks aesthetically great, I've got to take it off and just stick with the blog and resources and other things, and change what I'm doing on there. And I think that's kind of hard when you do something and it doesn't work out, because it's like, oh, you can feel like you've wasted all that time, effort and energy, and that can make you stressed as well. And it make you feel dizzy and like, oh, you know, just give me a break, just something work, please. You know, it's kind of hard sometimes when you're really trying on your own to do things, and not, you know, not everything goes how you want it to go in life. But, you know, I'm still grateful for things in life. I'm still happy I'm living. I'm still happy I've just got some food today. I got nice health bars which have got cocoa in them, so they taste chocolatey. I've got my advent calendar, which I've got number 4. Let's open the advent calendar together. Are you ready for this? Don't go away. So I've got a sugar-free advent calendar for Christmas this year, which is the same one I had last year. So, oh, we've got a bit of a lag. I'm going to just have a quick drink. This is my Disneyland Paris 25th anniversary mug for my 21st Mindset birthday. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. So cool. Look at that. I love it. So yeah, when you're feeling stressed, make sure you do things that make you happy. So we're gonna end this video with opening my sugar-free chocolate calendar. And so yeah, it's important, like the doctor said, to take care of myself, try and de-stress. So I've got multiple food allergies and intolerances. So this is a no added sugar, dairy-free milk chocolate alternative, and this is absolutely gorgeous. So if you're into having food gasms, it's definitely something to get. So I'm going to open door number 4 because it's the 4th today. Whee! And, whoop, by accident, I nearly opened another letter then. I didn't mean to. I can't even get it out. Oh my god, what have I got? I can't even get this chocolate out. Can you believe that? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm looking down. Well, that's a weird coloured chocolate. It's gone weird, but it's a little... Oh, it's a little angel. Look at that, which is very appropriate, because I've got to tell you that Angel went to the vets today with my parents, because I was at a doctor's at the same time Angel had to go to the vets, and she's put on weight, which is fantastic, but her blood sugar levels are 33 point something or other, and they're supposed to be 10, so they've gone way too high again. And last week they were 22, and then they've gone up to 33. It's like 22.2 I think they were last week, and 33.3 this week. But she has put on weight, which is great. So she's got to have some insulin again. So they've got my parents have got to start injecting her again. So she's had like a couple of weeks off, just over a couple of weeks and a couple of days. So and then she's got to start up again. So poor Angel. But yeah, it's nice to know there's a little angel chocolate in there watching over me, and I think the doctor was a little angel today, and it's nice to actually have see a really nice doctor, because she's not my usual doctor. My doctor's a man usually, but I want to see a woman. So yeah, it's all good, really, really good. I'm gonna eat my chocolate now. But oh, what a food gasm looks like. You can end up making the noises. Like, it's just amazing. I think I'm going to go off and eat my chocolate and have a nice food gasm by myself. Anyways, really lovely to see you. I hope this video has been useful, helpful, and insightful. Give yourself a thumbs up and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please share it with anyone who may benefit from it. So if you've got anyone who's really stressed out at the moment, and they're kind of stressed that they're stressed because they think they shouldn't be, and it's causing more stress, then definitely share this video. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit the great big subscribe button right now. Hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I thank you for whoever's done that already. I really appreciate it. And it's lovely to see you. Thank you for being with me throughout my asexual journey. And I really hope that these videos help you in yours and help you to know how awesome you are, and that you're beautiful just as you are. And whatever you're going through right now, you know, if you're going through any pain or trauma, I do understand where you're coming from. And things will get better for both of us, and we will be absolutely fine. Okay, you take care now. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Bye. Oh, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. Love saying that. Bye-bye.